When you think about American money, you probably picture presidents, right? Well, we're about to look at a time when that wasn't the case at all. We're diving into what many collectors consider the absolute artistic peak of U.S. currency. These things, they're not just old bills. They are legit, pocket-sized masterpieces.
Now look, I'm not just saying that. This quote really says it all. Widely considered the artistic high point of American currency. And that's not a modern take either. From the moment these things came out back in 1896, people knew they were looking at something totally different, something really special.
So what is it? What makes a piece of paper money that's nearly 130 years old a miniature masterpiece? I mean, really, what's the secret sauce here? How does a bill from the 1890s still get artists and collectors so excited today? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
Okay, so first things first, we're heading into the educational series. The key thing to get here is that this was a total break from tradition. I mean, think about it. The government decided to put art, like actual allegorical art, on its money instead of the usual portraits of presidents. It was a bold move, and honestly, the result was just stunning.
So what is the educational series officially? Well, it's a set of 3 specific notes called silver certificates that came out in 1896. And they were designed to do more than just buy things. They were meant to tell a story through these incredible allegorical scenes showcasing American progress and art. Now, being silver certificates meant you could technically walk into a bank and trade them for silver dollars. But really, their true value was in the statement they made, that America was this powerhouse of innovation and culture.
And here they are, the big 3, the 1, the 2, and the $5 notes. But just listen to their names. The $1 isn't just a buck, it's history instructing youth. The $2, science presenting steam and electricity to commerce and manufacture. Wow. And the 5, electricity as the dominant force in the world. I mean, come on, those don't sound like money. They sound like titles for epic paintings. And that right there tells you everything about how ambitious this project really was.
Okay, now for my favorite part. Let's actually put these notes under the microscope and take a look at each one. This is where you're really going to see why people go crazy for them. The detail, the artistry, it's just incredible.
All right, let's kick things off with the $1 bill, History Instructing Youth. This is the one you're most likely to come across. It's kind of the gateway drug for collectors getting into this series, you know?
So let's break this one down. The front has this amazing allegorical scene. That's history instructing a young boy, pointing him toward the U.S. Capitol building in the background. It's very classical, very grand. But then you flip it over and you get something a bit more familiar. Portraits of George and Martha Washington. And get this, it's the only time they've ever appeared together on American money. So you've got this awesome blend of new artistic ideas on the front and a nod to tradition on the back. Super cool. Next up, the $2 note. And I gotta tell you, a lot of serious collectors will go to the mat saying this one, Science and Progress, is the single most beautiful piece of currency America has ever made. Period. That's a huge claim, right? But just wait till you get a good look at it. You'll see why.
The front of this thing is just overflowing with symbolism. You've got science in the middle, and she's literally presenting these 2 little cherubs who represent steam and electricity to the grown-up figures of commerce and manufacture. It's like she's saying, here are the tools for the future. And then the back ties it all together perfectly. It features portraits of 2 real-life American inventors who made it all happen. Robert Fulton, the steamboat guy, and Samuel Morse, telegraph, Morse code. It's just a genius mix of symbolic art and actual history.
And that brings us to the $5 note. Whoa. If the $2 was all about elegance and promise, this one is pure raw power and drama. I mean, the title alone tells you everything. Electricity, the dominant force.
You can't get more dynamic than this. The main figure is practically surging with energy, guiding the world forward with lightning in her grasp. It's a celebration of American know-how as the age of electricity was just beginning. And then the back, it's a fascinating choice. You've got these 2 famous Civil War generals, Grant and Sheridan. So you have this amazing contrast between old-school military power and this brand-new, world-changing technological force. It's such a bold design, and it's no surprise that this is often the priciest of the 3 notes. Okay, so we've seen them. And yeah, they're gorgeous, no question. But why are they so loved by collectors? What's the real special sauce that makes them legendary? Well, it boils down to a few key things.
It really comes down to a perfect storm of 3 things. First, obviously, the artwork. It just looks more like something you'd see in a museum than in a cash register. Second, they had a really short lifespan. Believe it or not, they were controversial. Some people thought the designs were too busy and, well, a bit risque. Yep, the allegorical figures were seen as a little too underdressed for government money. It actually caused a small scandal, which meant they were replaced pretty quickly. And that, of course, makes them much rarer today. And third, they were big. Like, really big.
And you really can't get a sense of this from a screen. These old, large-size notes are way bigger than the bills we use today. We're talking over an inch longer. That extra real estate was like a bigger canvas for the artists, which is why they could pack in so much incredible detail. It makes a huge difference when you see one in real life.
All right, so they're beautiful, they're rare, and they're big. We get it. But let's talk about the money side of things. What makes one of these things worth hundreds of dollars and another worth tens of thousands? How does all that art translate into actual value?
This is the question, right? So you find one of these $1 notes. Is it a cool souvenir worth a couple $100, or is it a down payment on a house? Well, like with any collectible, the devil is in the details.
The number one most important factor, without a doubt, is condition, or what collectors call the grade. Look at the difference here. On one side, you've got a crisp, uncirculated note. It basically looks like it was printed yesterday. No folds, no stains, perfect corners. That's where the big money is. Then you look at the other side, a heavily circulated note. It's been in pockets, it's been folded, it's seen things. It's still valuable for sure, but we're talking a tiny fraction of what the perfect one is worth.
And it's not just about folds and stains. Experts look for other stuff too. Does it have a really low or fancy serial number? That can add a huge premium. Is it original? That's key. Collectors don't want notes that have been taped up or chemically cleaned to try and make them look nicer. You want that original, problem-free paper quality. That's the holy grail.
So as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty amazing to think about the legacy of these things. They really capture this one specific moment in time when the US government basically said, let's make our money into fine art. But there's one more little surprising fact about them.
And here it is. It's kind of a wild thought, but technically, these are all still legal tender. Yeah, you could actually walk into a store today with a history instructing youth note and use it to buy something for $1.
But, and I cannot stress this enough, please do not do that. Spending one of these for its face value would be a massive mistake. Their collector value is hundreds, sometimes thousands of times what's printed on them. It'd be like using a priceless antique as a doorstop. Just don't.
And that really brings us right back to where we started. This quote says it best. These notes are not just collectibles, they are miniature masterpieces. They go way beyond just being money. They're art. They're a little snapshot of a very confident, very ambitious America, captured on a beautiful piece of paper. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. You know, the 1896 series was all about capturing the values of its time, progress, science, innovation. So, what if we did that today? If we decided to completely redesign our currency, to be artistic and represent modern America, what would we put on it? What ideas, what values, what achievements truly define who we are right now? It's kind of a fun thing to think about, isn't it?